telling me, you know who he is? I said, Dad, I don't know. I said, Dad, you been around.
How you not know who Glenn Johnson is?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Respect. Come on, man. True School Sports. Say,
Thank you.
Do me a favor. Say, True School Sports.
True School Sports.
Number one
Check
content.
it out. Number one content.
Thank
Always
you.
check it out. That's
Thank
the
you,
boss.
There you go.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, before we proceed any further, make sure you guys smash that bell notification so you get all the videos, interviews, and coverage here on True School Sports, because there is a lot of videos that do come out on here, a lot of great videos at that, and I don't want you to miss anything. So please do yourself a damn favor and hit that bell notification. Now, we're going to talk about the special one, Kell Brook, because he gets fought Mark DeLuca. Obviously, I wasn't live for that fight because I was in Daytona covering the local fights, somewhat local fights. You know, wasn't in South Florida, but, you know, I digress. Kell Brook fought Mark DeLuca. He scored a 7th round stoppage victory, and, you know, I've heard a lot of people dissecting the fight and talking about it, and I finally got a chance to watch it for myself. And I got to say this, I thought that was the best I've seen Kell Brook look in a long time. In a long time, you know, even better than, like, because I don't really count the Rabchenko fights either. But you know, when we look at Kell Brook, you gotta look at this performance in its proper context. You know, he fought a guy, Mark DeLuca, who let's not make it have any confusion. We knew Mark DeLuca wasn't a world-class 154-pound fighter, but we knew that he was tough and that he was durable enough that if Kell Brook was, you know, so shot to the point, you know, if Kell Brook was extremely shot, as people say he is, then a guy like Mark DeLuca, who was tough and durable enough, would be able to beat him, you know, to be able to hurt him. Because, you know, Mark DeLuca was touching Kell Brook. He was, you know, landing on Kell Brook. It wasn't like he didn't have good spells in the fight, because he did. You know, he had some good spells in the 4th round, and in many spots of the fight. But what I found most encouraging for this fight with Kell Brook was, you know, after the first 2 rounds were a bit, you know, not much going on. They were a bit boring. They were a bit, you know, lackluster to say the least. But as the fight went on, once we got to the 3rd round, we saw Kell Brook begin to catch a rhythm, catch his flow in the ring, and he began to let his punches flow. We saw exceptional combination punching from Kell Brook. You know, coming up the middle, coming around the guard. You know, switching from orthodox to southpaw, landing big shots out of both stances, and just, you know, there were times in that fight where he showed himself, where he actually displayed moments that resembled, you know, the 2015 Kell Brook, you know, or the 2014 Kell Brook when he first won the IBF title. You know, when everybody thought that he was the #1 welterweight in the world, and they were clamoring for him to fight Amir Khan and even Floyd Mayweather and things like that. So Kell Brook, I think this is the best performance he's had in a while. Because when you look at, like, you know, so he lost to Errol Spence, right? Then he fought Rabchenko. And Rabchenko was kind of maybe at a similar level to a DeLuca, maybe even a bit higher. But he wasn't as durable as DeLuca. And Kell folded him up with no problems, you know. Kell fought Michael Zarafa, looked like absolute, you know, shit against Michael Zarafa. Horrible. He had a piss poor performance against Michael Zarafa. He was lucky to squeeze it out and get the win. He had to work for that win. But that fight doesn't look so bad now, considering that Michael Zarafa has beaten Jeff Horn and had some good fights with Jeff Horn. So Michael Zarafa has actually proven to be better than we thought he was at the time of that fight. So that win's actually not as bad. But this fight right here, I would say in his last 3 fights, it's no doubt about the best performance he's had in a while, because of the fact of the combination punching, the different dimensions he showed, being in control of the fight, showing, you know, that he still does have some of those same qualities he had when he became world champion in 2015. Now, we still take it with a grain of salt because it's Mark DeLuca, but I will say Mark DeLuca is going to be one of those fighters, and remember I said this, Mark DeLuca will improve after this fight because he gets good sparring. He's extremely tough and durable, and what he doesn't have in skills, he makes up for in his behavior as a fighter. You know, he may not do a lot of things great in the ring, but the one thing he does do great is behave like a fighter. And, you know, sometimes when you're a guy like DeLuca, you're gonna get put in fights against ex-champions or faded champions, and a guy like him is upset. He's very upset prone to guys like that. So don't be surprised in the future if we see Mark DeLuca wind up upsetting a faded ex-champion or something like that. Because I think he will improve, and he put up a good fight. You know, he isn't by no stretch of the imagination a bum or an F-class fighter or anything like that. But now they're talking about Kell Brook versus Liam Beefy Smith, and that's the next fight they want to look at. And I think that's a great fight because that fight right there is gonna let us know everything we need to know about Kell Brook. We're gonna know how good he is still. We're gonna know, just how durable he is, because Kell Brook is a guy that's been in some wars. Obviously, he's had the 2 eye surgeries. He's gotten beaten up by Triple G and Earl Spence and whatnot. So he's obviously not going to be in his prime. But Liam Smith is a bit fresher of the two, and on top of that, we know Liam Smith is very durable. This is the same Liam Smith that was able to go about 8-9 rounds with Canelo Alvarez. So he's been in there. He's gone a lot of rounds with Canelo Alvarez, and so that tells you everything you need to know about his durability. And he's improved even since that fight. And there's going to be a lot of people when that fight happens that are going to pick Liam Smith to win that fight based on his durability. Just based on his durability and the improvements he's made since the Canelo fight back then. So I think that's a brilliant fight with Kell Brook. And then look, if he wins that fight, I'm not sure as far as rankings if that does, but you know what? We'll check right now while we're sitting here. I'm not sure what that does for Kell Brook as far as rankings, but I'm going to assume that will put him somewhere in line for a title shot, because I know Liam Smith, when we talk to Liam Smith, he's ranked pretty highly in the sanctioning body. So let's have a look. Let's have a look to see where Liam Smith is. Liam Smith is ranked number 2 by the WBO. He's not ranked by the IBF. He is not ranked by the WBA, and he is not ranked by the WBC. So look, if Kell Brook fights Liam Smith and he beats him, we're looking at Liam Smith, being the number 2 guy in the WBO. Kell Brook wins that. You gotta assume that he's gonna shoot up the rankings into that spot, and then that could potentially line him up for a fight against Patrick Teixeira, which I think would be a good fight for Kell Brook, because Patrick Teixeira has improved since he went up to 160 and got his ass spanked out by Curtis Stevens, but he turned in a brilliant performance against Carlos Adames, and he's improved as a fighter. But that of the champions, I think that's the best route for him to go, because I think right now, even though I think Kell Brook is more skilled than both Jermell Charlo and Jason Rosario, I just think those guys are too strong and durable for him, and they will break him down, and he will get found out. So I say you beat Liam Smith, you beat him, you get Patrick Teixeira if he's still there, and if you can beat Patrick Teixeira, then by then you have a lot of confidence, and you should be confident enough to go into a fight with a Rosario or a Jermell Charlo or even a Julian Williams if you want to get the title back. So great performance with Kell Brook. We saw a hell of a performance, and if you can't, oh my God, I think it's also good for Kell Brook that he's back with Dominic Ingle, because that gives him more of a clear-cut identity as a fighter. We saw in his fight with Zerafa, that was the first and only time he trained with John Fuchs, and Fuchs was giving him a million instructions, and Kell didn't really have a set identity in the ring. But as to where with Ingle, you see him back to his old ways, throwing lots of combinations, sidestepping, showing the different things that made Kell Brook one of the elite fighters in boxing when he was champion. So we'll see how it goes, but that's just my thoughts on the fight in Kell Brook and his career moving forward. But I'll let you hear what you guys got to say in the comments down below. So leave your comments down below. Make sure you take the time to subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell notification so you get all the videos here on True School Sports. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just giving Daniel. So until next time, take your eyes.
This is Chick Shane Mosley, and you're watching True School Sports.